Oh, chats are coming in already. I'm live.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see
Yeah.
that because I'm also
Okay.
oh, oh, good stuff.
Hello, IBK, can you confirm if I'm audible enough? Okay. So welcome everybody. Precious Kolawole, and thank you very much for joining this session. I can see a lot of comments on the like in the chat section. I can see people also dealing in from different places. It's really nice having this session after long days of procrastinating. Yeah, I'm Precious Kolawole, and a quick introduction. Uh, I'm a dev degree intern at Shopify, and I also do a lot of data science, a lot of machine learning stuff, and I try to pass on my machine learning knowledge to people. So you can call me a tech mentor, even though I don't like to call myself a mentor. Okay, so let's get started today. And on this call, we have IBK Ibukoluwa Ogunaike. She is going to be in the background to make sure everything is well organized and just to moderate the session for us. And IBK, can you like introduce yourself so the audience can get to know you better?
All right. I trust you can hear me. Can you hear me, Precious?
Yes, I can.
All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're joining us from. Like Precious said, my name is Ibukun. I'm a data analyst, and I'm so glad to be here because I know we're going to have a great time learning at the feet of the Most High Precious. I trust you guys to have a good time. Please ask your questions away. I'm sure you're going to have good responses. We're going to have a very good 1 hour, just enjoying ourselves. See you.
Thank you, Hi VK. Thank you for that. All right, as we've heard from Hi VK, we are about to get started now. So I expect everyone to have their questions ready. And one thing before we start, if you haven't read the latest article I wrote, Tech Took Me Out of the Ghetto, I would encourage you go through the article and read because it's going to answer a lot of your questions, if not all. So yeah, and if you've read the article and you still have more questions, so yeah, let's get started. So I, if you have any question, kindly drop them in the chat section right now so we can get started. And I'm just gonna show some pictures in the background. Yes, perfect. Okay, awesome. So yeah, if you have any question, drop them in the chat section, and I'll be picking the questions one after the other and start answering them. And maybe I'll just entertain you with like the question I always get every time, and that I want to start learning how to code. How do I get started? That's like the most common question people always ask me. Like, I want to get started with coding. I don't know how to start. So, I don't know if I should answer or someone is still going to ask the question. Well, if you are just getting started in tech and you don't know where to start, I would always recommend you reading up on different tech stacks we have. If you are from Nigeria, we have some tech stacks that are very, very common these days. Like people are always into them. So you can make your research, read wide on those tech stacks. And after reading, I recommend having a roadmap, like drafting your timeline and getting started with those things. So reading wide on the tech stack is going to help you. And also picking the one that interests you the most because when you do something you like, that's where the drive comes from. So yeah, make sure it's something you are very much interested in. And yeah, that's all. Okay. I think I have a question here. It says, what do you really do in Spotify? Okay. The company is not Spotify, it is Shopify, and we are working towards making e-commerce better for everyone. Shopify is like an e-commerce company, and we have different merchants. We work with different merchants, making their experiences better. And yeah, and as a dev degree intern at Shopify, you get to be on a team, or not really a team. The first 8 months of being a dev degree intern, you are in a training part, and then they get to train you to become a world class engineer like this for you to learn the skills we are using at Shopify like JavaScript, TypeScript, React Native, And after being able to work with those tech skills, you get to join a team, and a team of your choice, either front end or back end, or data or product engineering or machine learning. Yeah, that's what I do presently. I'm on the training part at Shopify. Okay, another question from Precious Emmanuel. She says, "Oh, Precious, I'm also Precious." Okay, I just transitioned into data analytics. I just joined a Tech Trail Cohort 5, where we are working with Python, but I sincerely haven't gotten an edge yet. Okay, I think I know I are Tech Trail. Oh, the thing is, were you given a mentor? If a tech trail gave you a mentor in the program, I recommend speaking wide with your mentor in the program to understand the curriculum, their goals for you as a mentee in the program, right? So, having like after speaking with your mentor, I think the person should be able to clarify what the program is like for you. And yeah, I think that Tech Trail is doing our best to make sure people are well groomed in the field of data science and data analytics. But still, if you do not like know how to navigate and everything after speaking with your mentor, I have a roadmap you can work with, and I'm sure I'm going to be linked to the roadmap before the end of this session. Okay, just stay tuned. The right pressure. Okay, how do I draft a tech journey roadmap? Okay, you know, the first part is when you have a tech stack you want to join, like let's say you pick data science, for example. I mentioned you making your research. Making your research is the first part of diving into anything, really. So make your research and understand what that particular field is all about. And after doing this, if you are just getting started, things won't like be very clear to you, right? So it will be very hard for you to draft like a tech roadmap. Like when I learn Python, I'm gonna move to analytics. It will be hard for you to do. But the type of tech roadmap you have to draft for yourself is your consistency, how disciplined you want to be, how long you want it to take you to learn that particular tech stack, and many other things. So when it comes to you for the skills part, I recommend speaking with a mentor, but the tech journey roadmap I said you have to draft for yourself is you understanding like how you want to navigate the path on your own, like in your own side. I hope that helps. What would you say stood you out during the dev degree application? Okay, the dev degree application, it's a program where your past experience is not put into consideration during the application process. They don't think about whether you have been in programming for years. High school students have actually been in the program. But what actually paved the way for me is the fact that I knew how to tell my story. Like I know how to tell my story rather. When it comes to me talking about the things I've done in the past, I know how to push them forward. And everything also comes down to you your writing, because the first stage of the first evaluation stage is in your essay, right? So my essay, I made sure to tell a lot of story about myself. And aside from that, I prepared myself for the interviews because many people were dropped during the interview phase. I prepared myself for the interview using this using pram.com. Okay, so that's the stuff. I hope you get it, Vinny. So how did Okay, sorry. I want to pick question from Iwebi route right now. How did your dev degree program go? Like, what were the steps and the processes you passed through? Also, are there other opportunities like the dev degree one? Okay, for the dev degree program, the first stage is you submitting an application on Smart Recruiter. After submitting your application on Smart Recruiter, you will get an email from the organizer, Tristan, and then you have to work on the computational assessment questions. So once you are done and you've submitted, they are going to send you a link to the personal statement. And on the personal statement, you have to write an essay, like 5 essays or so. So once you've completed the essay, they are going to review and get back to you. If you qualify after the personal statement stage, then you move to the interview stage. Life story interview. You get to have life story interview with depth degree instructors, and like you have, I think, roughly 3 or 4 interviews. I think 4, yeah. So after the interview, when you pass that stage, then you will get an offer, like a rejection or an acceptance. Okay, that's this that those are the stages. And then are there opportunities like the dev degree own? Honestly, I haven't seen any. Like all the other ones I've seen, they are just like scholarship, they give you money, but I've not really seen one that would like groom you to become a world like a very good engineer and also get you a degree. I've not seen any. All the other programs they just give you money. Like the Google Generation Scholarship, they give you money and many other ones. All right. I hope that helps. It will be you. So favor Maxon, while applying to the dev degree program, were you required to take an English test or have taken SAT to show how proficient you are in English? Okay, the dev degree does not require you to present an English test result. They don't evaluate you based on that. If you can, if you just make sure you write your essay well, I think that's enough to show if you can speak English or if you are good in English. But for the university degree, the first one, like you get it into Carleton University or York or the Dominican University, you you are expected to submit an English test, but not necessarily SAT. During my time, I submitted my Dolungo test result. Dolungo, we all know Dolungo, it's like the cheapest, right? So a Dolungo test result is enough for the university to evaluate your English language proficiency. But dev degree does not consider it. I hope that helps favor. So Adejumo Fisayo is asking a question. Can we have that on screen? Okay. This is my question. What are the opportunities for abroad scholarship in computer science? Also, how do you navigate from a non-computer science background of a bachelor degree to a study a master's? Okay, how do you navigate from a non-computer science background of a bachelor's degree to study a master's? Okay, you are coming from a non-computer science background and you want to have a master's in computer science, if I get that correctly. Well, it's actually possible. I'll start with the first question. What are the opportunities for abroad scholarship in computer science? I think there are a lot of them. And I think this person is a lady, Adejunwa Adefisayo. If you are a woman in tech, there are actually scholarship opportunities for women in tech and like sponsorship in terms of funds and stuff. There are a lot of them. And also the universities specifically, they have their own scholarships. Like the universities, they have scholarship. Carleton has scholarship, and if you are exploring different countries as well, they have their scholarship opportunities. Although the university scholarships are very, very competitive because they want to evaluate you based on your SAT, your IB result, and many other ones. And I think people from Nigeria or many other African countries, they don't always invest in SAT and all those all those results. They don't always invest in them. So it will be very hard. Like it might be a bit difficult to get those kind of fully sponsored scholarship for undergraduates. But for masters, like you said, for masters, it is very possible. Master scholarships are very, very like they are more compared to undergraduate. So if you are looking into master's scholarship in computer science, I believe you should be able to get a lot of them. All right. And just make your research. Focus on the universities you want to look into. And they always have scholarship sections for international students. Go through them and I believe you should be able to see the ones the school offer. Okay. And how do you navigate from a non-computer science background to masters in computer science? I think that might actually be a bit difficult because they always evaluate master's education based on your undergraduate studies. And I won't be able to provide much details concerning master's because I'm not presently in my master's program. I'm doing my undergraduate program right now. So I will not be able to give you as much details for master's education. But trust me, it is possible to move from a non-computer science background to study master, to have a master's degree in computer science. It's possible. I would recommend reaching out to people who are presently doing masters program, and then they'll be able to like put you in the right direction. Okay. Aderibigbe Damilola, how do you maximize mentorship to accelerate your tech growth? Well, all I did during my days was I joined She Code Africa. I started this mentorship training with She Code Africa. And She Code Africa itself is a platform where you can have a lot of recognition and stuff. So when I joined She Code Africa, I mentored a couple of like some ladies, and I think She Code Africa did a 5-year review, and my face was actually part of the mentors they displayed on their site. So the tech acceleration stuff started from there. And I think that's pretty much it. When it comes to mentorship, I feel just have this mindset of impacting others. Like just say it as let me contribute my tiny bit. And definitely, if you do all those things consistently, your tech growth is going to like also blow up. Honestly, just focus on impacting others, and the other things will come alongside with it. I hope that helps. At the end of the day. Um, so let's take question from Nancy. Okay. The question from Adiri Damilola. Okay. Okay. You are asking in the aspect of like you being a mentee, if I'm right. Okay. Okay. If you want to maximize mentorship as a mentee and not as a mentor, I believe try and look for a mentorship program first. If you can't see any because they are very scarce, look for a mentor in the tech space rather, and then try be proactive. Let me put it that way. Be proactive when it comes to like if you're lucky enough to find a mentor, be proactive. Be the one to reach out first and not the person always reaching out to you. Be proactive in your learning and ask as much questions as you can while being under the person. And also don't be the kind of person that just wants to collect and not give back. Mentors are also busy, so try as much as possible to help the person in whatever they are doing. And as you are helping, I believe you also get to learn more. And look into your mentor, look at the person's career path, what the person has gone through, and be able to model your life using that path as well. I do that a lot. I have many mentors, but I have one mentor I always fall back to. I look at stuff a lot and I try to model my life with that. And I believe just focus on that and you'll be fine. All right. Nancy, I have a little sister. She's in SS1 now, and she wants to be a robotic engineer. I don't want to study it in Nigeria, so I want her to get a scholarship abroad. I want to help her in search of opportunity, but I don't know where to start or what to do. What should I expect and where should I set? I would appreciate your response. Okay, for your sister in SS1 right now, she wants to be a robotic engineer. I believe there are universities that are outside Nigeria with the robotics course. I don't think Calton has one, but my mentor, I'm going to talk about I think everybody, if you know me well, you should know my mentor, Oluwatoyin Yetunde Sonny. And she's a robotic engineer right now. So I think you should give her a follow if you are not following her yet. She talks a lot about robotics. So give her a follow. And for your sister, I recommend looking like try and find a country where you want your sister to go to, maybe US or Canada or Italy or Germany, anyone, and streamline your search to that particular country, to those countries rather, and then look for universities in that country. While exploring those countries, the courses they have, if you get to see like robotics in any of those countries' curriculum, or not country, university's curriculum, then start looking for scholarship. For the scholarship part, I don't know if there are many scholarships for robotics. Honestly, I can't say, but you can actually prepare her for HSCT because that's just the best way to get scholarship from university. prepare her for SAT if she can get that done. And funniest thing, if you are looking into like Germany, they require IELTS and not SAT. So you might want to do your research on that. So first thing, look into those schools and look into scholarship opportunities in those schools and try to meet the requirements for her to gain for her to get scholarships rather. And I think that's pretty much everything. That's pretty much everything. Yeah. I hope I've been able to make justice to that, Nancy. And if you have any question, you can always send to my email, though. I can't guarantee that, but honestly, I'll try my best because she's still very young and she needs to be properly trained to get what she wants. All right. Does a programming background help with the dev degree application? I think I said this the other time. So being if you have a lot of programming experience, it helps. I won't say like it doesn't like add to it. It's actually hard so if you have programming experience, but it's not like the main requirement. We actually have high school leavers in the cohort right now, and they are doing amazingly well. So you don't need program like a very strong programming background to be a dev degree intern. And the interview you will get to do for them, though there is a technical interview part, but it's something you can actually answer even without the knowledge, without any programming knowledge. It's something you can answer. Actually, for me particularly, because I've been in tech for a long time, it actually helped me a lot. A lot. It helped in my interviews. It helped in me just scaling the entire process. But it's not a requirement. Without a programming background, you can scale it. All right. So let's go for Patrick. Hi, Precious. What's your take on going for continuing education in Canada? There is a 1 year professional program such as business analytics, intelligence and analytics. Need more enlightening. Okay. If you want to continue your education in Canada, I don't know about the professional program. I don't know much about them, but continuing your education in Canada is very feasible. That's one thing you should know. It's very, very feasible. And if you are trying to dive into the 1 year professional program, I think you should just go through the particular program you want to go for and make sure it aligns with your goal. That's simply it. I think the universities I've seen in Canada, they are of high standard. The universities in Canada, honestly. So you should be fine with any degree you get here. But make sure the program you want to go for aligns with your goal. And then I think that's what success means to you. All right, Patrick. Um, Oluwa Mayowa, any advice on how to get a mentor in the tech space? I am a male, by the way. Okay, I understand because if you are a female, there are actually like many female programs like everywhere, and you can just join and then they assign you to a mentor. But you are a male and you need to get a mentor. Okay. Um, I think there are actually different social media platforms you can leverage on LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. Instagram might be a minus, but yeah, you can look into that as well. I think the first thing in getting a mentor is make sure the mentors, like what the mentor is doing, is what you want to do. Like one thing I always look for in my mentors, they must have like gone through the path I want to, like I'm trying to tread on, like the path I want to follow. They must have gone through it, right? So that's the number one thing I always look for in them. And I think Twitter might, because we have like tech communities on Twitter. So Twitter might be like the best place to first get one. But let me just like cite a brief example of how I was able to meet my mentor. It started when I was trying to get all this education, like abroad education stuff. And I looked her up. Okay, somebody commented. I saw something about AI and healthcare. And so it was even my brother. God has actually helped me with my brother, honestly. He commented under the post. Okay, I think our face, my mentor right now, Yeti, Oluwatoyin Yetunde, her picture is on the banner, and then my brother read through, and then he tagged me under the comment section, and then I I just came online, looked at it, and I checked her profile, and I was very, very amazed at everything with everything she has done. Look, and at that time, she was doing this. I can't remember the title, but she was working at University of Lincoln on as a research, like she was doing research at University of Lincoln in the United Kingdom at that time. So when I saw it, my initial plan was to go to University of Lincoln and not Carleton University. And when I messaged her, like, first thing about reaching out to a mentor is your first impression really matter. Like what you send, like how you write everything, make your like make your intention, make it known, write beautifully, impress them. That's the first way of getting their attention. Make sure you write well, communicate your goals, your end results, communicate it well. Don't just write, I'm stuck, I want to do this thing, but I don't know how to go about it. Please, can you help me? It's like the energy should be there. You should show enthusiasm, right? So I think that's the first way of getting their attention. So just do that. Look for somebody you are very, very interested, whose part you are very interested in. Message them. If the first person does not acknowledge your response, message another person. There are a lot of people doing the same thing. Message another person, and I'm very sure somebody is going to come through for you. All right. I hope that helps, Oluwamayowa. So, Angel Simcha, I think she was the first person to comment on the chat section the time I dropped this live session stuff. Thank you for joining again, Angel. All right. How were you able to build the best in your bootcamp with your phone? What app did you use for coding? Okay, I did not say I was the best in bootcamp. I did not say I was the best. Okay, but anyways, okay, while coding on my phone, what app did you use for coding? Okay, when I started coding, I wanted to do data science and machine learning. So I use PyDroid 3. PyDroid 3 is an app that allows you to launch Linux kernel. So when you launch a Linux kernel on PyDroid 3, it's going to give you Jupyter Notebook. The Jupyter Notebook we data scientists use in running our code. It's going to launch it for you on a browser. And then you can write your code and run and see the results, right? So that's the app I use. Oh, how were you able to be the best? Like I said, I was not really, really the best, but I was just consistent, and I was trying to learn as much as I could in those days. So yeah, that's the app. You can check it out if you are doing data science. But if you are doing web development or any other ones, I can't guarantee. Like, you can't use PyDroid 3 rather. You can't use PyDroid 3. You would have to look into, I think, Solo Learn for web development. People use Solo Learn for HTML and CSS. So you can look into that. All right. I hope that helps, Angel. So, Ajay Beferomi, hi Precious. I want to know if there is any need to understand database administration for someone who wants to be a ML engineer and not a data engineer. Okay. I think as a machine learning engineer, database work is not really your responsibility, but you should know the basics, like working with SQL. SQL knowledge is very, very good for you to be able to query data from those databases. Very recommended. And database administration per se is not your responsibility, like I said, but some companies in Nigeria, like if you are working for a startup, they expect you to be able to do a lot of things. I did a lot when I started my first job at a Nigerian startup. So they expect you to know a lot of things, including database, including cloud, a lot. So if you happen to get on a job that requires you to learn database administration, I don't think you need to learn it deeply, but try to just learn it briefly if you can. But it's not your responsibility as an ML engineer, as an ML engineer rather. Yeah, I hope that helps. If you are opportune to get companies out of Nigeria, you don't need to learn ML database administration. All right. So Angel again. Also, why the move from medicine to tech? What motivated you then? Were you already a medicine graduate in 2020 when you decided to move to tech? I'm just motivated by the story. Okay. Um, in 2020, okay, I'm a very young girl. Like I'm still very small. So I did not graduate in 2020. I gained admission in 2019. That was when I gained admission to study, not medicine actually, physiotherapy, medical rehabilitation in Hoe Obafemi Awolowo. So that was when I started medicine. And why did I move? I did not move because I got tired of medicine. That was not the reason why I moved. I moved because I felt there's actually like a lot more things for me to do outside of my environment. What the first thing that actually pissed me off was like having to navigate everything because I'm the kind of person that I do self-reflection a lot. So when I sat down and I tried to draw my roadmap, I felt starting with medical rehabilitation and then having a master's or a PhD in artificial intelligence and machine learning with healthcare is not something I want. So yeah, that was why I left my medical degree. And right now the goal is to study computer science right now and then after I'm going to med school. So that's the plan. Okay, I hope that helps Angel. So let's have another question. Esther Uzokife, I hope I pronounced that well. I'm sorry for murdering your name. I'm a physiotherapist, but delving into tech. I'm currently learning with New Horizons front-end and back-end. Please, after learning, what next? Is it to get a job or internship or what? Please help. Okay. You are a physiotherapist and you are in front-end and you are learning front-end and back-end right now. So after getting those knowledge, I think you should try and get an internship because of you that's a way of you practicing the things you've learned. Try and get an internship because what we experience when we are on real life jobs, like when we are working with real life data, is different from the experience you have when you are just following tutorials, watching YouTube videos to get some projects done. So it's different. So try and get an internship experience. That's gonna help you a lot. I hope that helps. So let's have the next question. And please, how is the site you used for interview helped you? Oh, okay. How did you prepare for the interview? Is the technical interview the computational test? And what do you mean when you say the technical test is something you can solve without being technical in coding? Okay. The first part of the question, can we bring it up to the screen? The first part of the question. Okay. Explain how the site you used for interview helped you. Okay, I used Pramp, PRAMP. When I was trying to join Google, then it was my Googler, like the person that interviewed me, that did mock interview for me, he introduced me to Pramp. And on Pramp, you get paired with other engineers, like other people trying to get job opportunities, like trying to prepare for interview across the globe. So you get to have interviews, one-on-one interviews with those people. You you ask questions from you interview one another. The person gets to interview you, you interview the person, right? And then after those sessions, you provide feedback. So the person provide you with feedback, you also give feedback to the person. And with the feedback, you get to improve yourself, like improve your coding skills with that. So Prompt is free and like it's just like the sweetest platform. Highly recommended. So that was how Prompt helped me. How did I prepare for the interview? Yes, I used Prompt. And on Prompt, there's also behavioral interview section, technical interview section. For the behavioral interview section, it's also the same way. They pair you up and then you get to know the kind of answers to give when interviewers are questioning you, like not really questioning, the type of answers the interviewer wants to hear at the required time, like the kind of response to give. So that's how the behavioral interview is going to prep you up. So let's have the second part of the question from Eniola. Okay, is the technical interview the computational test? The technical interview at Shopify is not the computational test. The first test you get to do is the computational test. And it's more like a bunch of puzzles, mathematics related questions and stuff. So that's the computational test. After the computational test, you have personal test statement. And after the personal statement, you have interviews. In the interview stage, you have behavioral interview, Shopify call it life story interview. You have the life story interview and then the technical interview. So I hope I've been able to like differentiate them. And when you said the technical test is something you can solve without, can you go back? Sorry. You said the technical test is something you can solve without being technical in coding. Yes, they give you questions. I feel and you're allowed try and open prompt and do some coding questions. I feel you get to understand what the technical test is all about, what technical tests are all about. So try and drop on prompt and see an example. Technical test is not the same as computational test. So let's have the next question. Sorry. I checked through the FAQs at Dev Degree and I saw that they accepted 10 to 15 students from each university. Does this mean that the university we are currently in as an undergraduate? Oh, no. Oh, we have three partner universities for the Dev Degree program. Dominican University, Carleton University, and York University. For um for each of them, they always like get students into the program. Like when you are in the dev degree program, you have to get into one of these universities. So it's not the university you are coming from, it's the university you will be studying at while being a dev degree intern. All right. I hope that helps. So let's have the next question. Which has better opportunities in the backend programming languages? Hmm. For the backend programming languages, better opportunities. There are opportunities for everything you learn, really. It's just about how much you can like research and get those information. But I think for backend right now, people actually want a backend engineer who can like communicate through front end applications and stuff. So we might want to get started with JavaScript or so for backend. But honestly, we have a lot of backend programming languages. Aside from JavaScript, we have PHP, we have Java, we have Python. Python is also a backend programming language. We have Java, we have C++, we have C hash. But the difference between these programming languages is that some are way too abstracted. Like Python has a lot of abstraction. um Aside from Python, Java is also very, very abstracted. But if you learn C++, if you learn C hash, C sharp rather, I don't know why I call it C hash. You learn C sharp, these ones they can actually let you know what's going on in the background. Python is just you doing print something and you see the print statement. You see something getting printed on your terminal, right? But for this other one, you get to know how the print statement itself is working. All right. So if you want to become a very, very good backend engineer, you might think of learning the programming languages that are not way too abstracted, like C sharp and C++. Java is also recommended too, because Java is very, very, um, I won't say modularized, but Java is also very recommended. So yeah, those are like the backend ones. JavaScript is just for you to be able to communicate with front-end applications and stuff. So yeah, which one has better opportunities? They all do. All right. So let's have the next question. How can I build portfolio in Java programming? Oh, I want to understand. How can you build portfolio? Is it like a portfolio website or your own personal portfolio? Mm. You might want to provide additional information. All right. The next question, sorry. What is the secret of getting a job as a backend dev? Actually, people ask me this kind of questions like, what are the secrets? It's not like you asking, what are the secrets to success? Like, how can I become successful? I just feel it's you just following the standards. Just do the things that are required of you as a backend dev and be proactive. Know what your end goals are and go for them. If you are somebody who aspires to work for big tech companies, cite the ones you want to get into and model yourself, like learn the skills that are required, learn the skills and shoot your shot. That's just it. I don't think they are like secret to all these things, honestly. I don't know if that's just the way I feel about it. All right. So yeah, let's have the next question. How long did it take you to be very ready on prompt? When I started on prompt, the first few interviews I had, I did not do well. I got bad feedback. But when I finished the like, okay, don't mind me, I'm a workaholic. I had about 21 interviews on prompt, but I don't think you have to go as far as that. But just when you feel you are comfortable, when you are comfortable with something, you yourself, you are comfortable, right? No one has to tell you you are good at this thing. And from the when your feedback starts improving, I feel, and you feel you are comfortable with it, then you should stop. Really, you should stop. I had 21 mock interviews, and not because that was when I felt I was comfortable, but I just wanted to learn more. But that might not be okay. So just make sure you are comfortable before you stop. All right. How do you manage your time combining studies and tech? Okay, nice question. Managing my time combining studies and tech. I've been doing this thing for a long time. I've been studying and working since like maybe since after high school. So it's like part of me right now. But the things I would recommend is when it comes to managing your time, I think okay, not everyone is us. We are not modeled the same way. And some people, they always want like leisures in everything they do. Like they cannot kill themselves. They just want to like flex while doing a lot of things. For me, I had to like, I was not socializing a lot just to focus on the things I wanted to achieve, right? And when it comes to managing my time, my schedule, I use my Google Calendar a lot. If you see my calendar, it's well documented every minute, every hour, I like I allocate things to my calendar, the things I must get done. And aside from my Google Calendar, people always recommend using external platforms like Notion, like I don't know the other ones we have to manage your time and stuff. But for me, they are too stressful to manage because I cannot be focusing on the tasks I want to do and still be remembering that I have another task on Notion I have to like another calendar on Notion I have to look into. So right, I I don't use all those external platforms aside from my Google Calendar. And then I'll recommend a small book. That's like the main trick to everything. I have a small book I take around. I put things on them. Like a book I can always write on quickly, bring out from my pocket and write on. Yeah. So I keep small books to track my calendar and everything. And it's been very fine. It just depends on what your end goals are and how much commitment you can devote to managing your time very well. So yeah, I hope that helps, Abdurrashid. Please, as a front-end developer, what type of project do you feel one can start with to get better recommendations? Okay, the mistake people always make is that when after completing YouTube courses, they get to implement the project they see on those sorry. When people finish YouTube courses, they try to implement the project or on those courses. And after building those projects, they put them on their portfolio. But one thing you have to remember is that you are not the only one taking those courses. Many people from different places are also taking those courses, those videos you watched, right? So you should try and sit down, think about something you will be very much interested in. This is how I select my own project. I've always been saying it. I want to like combine healthcare and tech, right? So I just sit down. Okay, in the healthcare space, what can I do right now with the skills I have? So that's just how I come up with my own project. And to get better recommendation, please don't just rely on those courses or those projects on those courses you've taken. Try to do other ones. If I want to recommend, I won't say build a calculator app. Calculator is too common. If you see Twitter, everybody is doing calculator app with content. So I won't say build calculator. But I don't know. I don't have recommendations at the top of my head right now. But I can make a blog post on this really. But I don't have like course recommendations. But it depends on you. Just sit down and think about okay, what aspects of front end development interest me right now. Okay, Adeyemo. I hope that helps you. Oh, okay. I'm getting messages here like we have a lot of questions right now. Let's just see how far we can go with this. And we've already spent like 58 minutes on this call. I don't know if we should continue, but let's just continue and see how far we can go. Okay, lastly, what's your biggest lesson? Okay, what's your biggest lesson you could give anyone on how to tell his or her story? What were the steps you used to tell your story very well? Okay, when it comes to telling stories, okay, if you want to get into the dev degree program, I think Eniola Alex has been asking questions related to the dev degree program. When it comes to telling your story, oh, in your personal essay, that's where you have to communicate this. People always make the mistake of, like, when they want to write personal statements essays, they just read online. If you want essays concerning what you want to write about, you see a lot of them online. So some people just go there, draft them, like, they just try to connect what they read online to their whole life, and then drop it, pick it from those sites, drop it back on those essays for those interviewers. It's not done that way. Just sit down and make reflections on the things you've done in the past, the things the recruiter are looking for in their intern, and tailor it to your own life. Tailor it to your own life and write very well. I recommend, after writing, give it to someone, a professional who can read. After the person has read through, I recommend passing it to Grammarly for Grammarly to correct your grammatical errors and stuff. And I believe you'll be fine. For the dev degree essay particularly, Alex. So just make sure the stories you write are particular to yourself. Don't just write vague things. I want to become, like, I don't know how people put those things up, but make sure they are things the interviewers, the recruiters want to hear specifically. And I believe you'll be fine. All right. Do you feel to tell a very good story, you need to have a good clear path of where you are coming from and where you want to be and where you want to achieve that? Hmm. Let me reread. Do you feel to tell a very good story, you need to have a good clear path of where you are coming from and where you want to be and where you want to achieve them? Okay, when it comes to having a clear path of where you are coming from, you are right. Where you want to be, you are right. And the way you want to achieve that, yeah, you are correct. I don't know if I understood your question perfectly well, but I think you are on point, Alex. Can you actually mentor someone or you are not ready? Okay, I can actually mentor. I've actually been doing a lot of mentorship programs like in the past, and I feel this is the time for me to focus on myself more, because since I'm gonna be honest with everyone, since I came here, I've been seeing a lot of new things I want to do, I want to dive into. So I don't have like that luxury of time, all right, to like bring a lot of people together. And even the main reason I'm hosting this Q&A session is because there's no luxury of time to have one-on-one with everybody, and I want to impact honestly. So when it comes to mentorship, Angel, I think you can send me a message. I can't remember if you've done that already, but yeah, let's just see how we can get things done from there. Yeah, but when it comes to mentorship, I don't think I want to dive into that a lot. But let's see how it goes. I don't know, because a lot of things are on my way right now which I want to deal with. But Angel, you can send me an email if you want. Yeah. So, God bless you. God bless you too, Timmy. See you in Carlton soon. I cannot wait. I need more Nigerians here. Like, I need people I can speak with and they will understand what I'm saying. I look forward to it, Timmy, honestly. Timmy, let's connect. Yeah, you people should connect. And I'm even thinking of like bringing people from Nigeria that are trying to get into the dev degree program. I'm trying to find a way of bringing them together. One thing, if you are working on your application, you are not expected to share your answers with anybody. And yeah, you are not expected to share your answers, especially the computational test part. But if you want to have folks you can rub minds with as you are progressing in the application phase, I'm trying to find a way of connecting everyone together, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. And by the time you people arrive on campus, we'll be able to have a get together session and then grab coffee. All right. So I'll try and look for a way to do that and make it public. And also, don't forget we have an unofficial dev degree channel. We have an unofficial dev degree channel you can join. It's for everyone, like everyone in the application phase right now. So you can join that for a start. But I'm gonna look into for the international student from Nigeria. Okay, not only from Nigeria, international student generally. I'm gonna try and bring something like that up. Let's look forward to it. So next, uh, have we answered all the questions? Please, will this session be recorded? Okay, this is my first time using Prompt, and I haven't. This is my first time using Prompt. I've not upgraded my plan to like a paid one because I want to test. Oh, not Prompt, StreamYard. Sorry, I want to test the way the features are for this live stream. So I did not record the session on live stream, but it should. I expect it to be available on YouTube. Like people should be able to go back to it on YouTube and rewatch. All right. So I think that should suffice. I have a lot of questions to ask, and you may not be able to answer them. So you may not have all the time to answer them now. All right. You can send me an email, and once I get the time, I will answer them. Your vibe is amazing. Woo! Thank you. Okay. Love this session. Would love to pair up one day. Oh, Ahmad, are you kidding me right now? Okay, don't mind Ahmad. I know him so well. Okay, I look forward to pairing up with you too, Ahmad. Um, let's have the next question if we still have more. Okay, we are already rounding up the session. Please, I was talking about personal portfolio. How can it be built? Oh, okay. Okay, I think this is the person that asked a question concerning building portfolio with Java, right? Okay. Okay. To build a personal portfolio, when I first built my portfolio, I used HTML, CSS, and JavaScript for my personal portfolio. Java is a backend language, and Java, unless you want to make your site responsive in some kind of ways, yeah, unless you want it to make it responsive, I think Java is not like the best programming language for building portfolio websites. So if you want to build a portfolio website, learn HTML and CSS first. It has to be attractive, right? So learn HTML and CSS. And then JavaScript, learn JavaScript to make it responsive a little bit, like to create fine boxes. I don't know what JavaScript is all about. Sorry. Okay, I'm just kidding. But learn JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. That will be enough to build a portfolio website. Java is not the most recommended for building portfolio websites. All right. I read one of your blog on Medium. How were you able to switch from York University to Carleton, and what were the reasons? Okay, for York, I did not switch from York to Carleton. So this is where you have to like prepare your application document well. I've been joking really with this dev degree program, like it's easy to get into, but honestly, Shopify is only taking in like best of the best. So make sure your application is very well packed, like very well packed. It's competitive and they have many people even this time compared to last year. So prepare your document well. The mistake I made with York University, um, my application was not good enough, honestly, and I didn't get computer science with York University. I was given information technology, and there is nothing for me to use information technology for, right? Since I'm trying to get into the Shopify program. So what I did was I applied to Carleton when York University did not give me computer science. I applied to Carleton and then I repackaged my application files and then I submitted. Then luckily I got into Carleton. Assuming Carleton did not pick me, I will not be where I am today because international students are not expected to apply to Dominican University. If you don't know yet, yeah, I think you should be aware. The international students are not expected to apply to Dominican. So you have just York and Carleton. All right. So that's the reason. So I think that's all right, Abigail. I just found out about the dev degree program, but just to confirm, is this open to only undergraduate? Yes, the dev degree program is for you to have an undergraduate degree in computer science. And funniest thing, we just introduced another program for those going into York. We introduced another one called digital technology. You get to work 80% with Shopify and 20% at York University. So yeah, it's only open to undergraduates to for you to get an undergraduate degree. But honestly, it's good. Especially the New York program they just introduced. You get to work with Shopify 80%. So the focus is not just the degree, it's for you to become a world class engineer. So yeah, it's only open to undergraduate, not masters or PhD. What is the unofficial group for the dev group aspirant? How do I connect? I'm gonna drop the link right now. Let me grab it. Yeah, one sec. Sorry, let me grab the link for everyone. I don't want to have to post invite people. Copy. Yeah. So let's have this in the chat. So I just dropped that in the chat section. So yeah, how do I connect? When you join, introduce yourself, and many applicants are there already. So you should be able to get as much information as you want to get. I don't know, my ring light is fumbling. Anyways, we can do without it. So I think that's all right. How can we apply? Apply for what? Okay, I'm just gonna wrap up the session. We've come a long way. Thank you everyone for joining, and it's been amazing. Like it's amazing answering your questions all this while. And I hope everyone gets to achieve everything they aspire and they aim to get. All right. IBK, do you have like a wrap up message for us? Yeah. You are muted.
I really don't have anything to say. You've said anything, everything that we need to hear. I think on behalf of everyone, thank you for making our time because I know you're a very busy person. Thank you for making our time to answer our questions. We hope to have another session, maybe another Ask Me Anything session, maybe later this year. At that time, we'd have upgraded. So, we also want to
Yeah.
upgrade with you. All right, that's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, everyone. It's been amazing doing this together. I think Ahmad has a question right now. Should we answer or should we ignore him? Let's ignore. Okay, let's answer. Okay. Is it possible to change one's uni, not just a uni, in the dev degree application? Yes. Okay. If you are trying to get into the dev degree program right now, please apply to the two universities. Apply to York and Carleton, if possible. Apply to the two because you can't tell. What if Carleton does not get you in? So just to be safe, apply to the two universities, and you'll be able to change your choice of uni. Yes. After you get an offer from Shopify, they will send you a form to actually like you would have gotten an admission then. They will send you a form to fill and then tell them about the program you've gotten into. So that will be done at the later stage of the application, right? So just apply to the two, but have your main choice. Have your main choice. But put the other one as like an alternative. You can always change your choice of uni. Okay, yeah, I get it, Ahmad. You will need to change your choice of like you change your uni. Yeah, you'll be able to. Hi, Precious. I just joined the live. Please, what's your advice for me? I'm a medical doctor who's branching into tech. Okay, you're a medical doctor. Wow. Pray for me. I need this anointing. Okay, anyways, jokes apart. Okay, you are welcome to the family, Ola. Okay, an advice. I feel like I've been saying all this while. Pick a tech stack you really want to focus on and explore it. Make sure it's something you are very, very interested and passionate about, and know what your end goals are, and chase your dream. I hope that helps. And one thing, have a mentor. It's recommended, but not important. Not necessary, it's recommended. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, David. Thank you, Precious, for your time. Wishing you the best. Eniola Ogumono, thank you. Oh, Eniola, I cite you. Ahmad, thank you. Ibuku Ogunaike. Okay, yeah. All right, guys, let's end the session now. We've come a long way. Thank you, everyone. It's been amazing, like I said the other time. Bye. Another question again. Okay, I need to be able to ignore, but I can't. If I don't have a tech portfolio, do you think it can easily disqualify me in this application? If you are talking about the dev degree application, it's not going to disqualify you. If you don't have a tech portfolio, please, if you are talking about portfolio, we can consider portfolio as a resume, and we can consider portfolio as like this website thing. It is recommended you have a very good resume for a start, like start building your resume, but it's not going to disqualify you if you don't have a portfolio website. No, it's not going to disqualify you. All right, thanks. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Can I be your mentee? Oh, all right. So let's end the session now. Bye. Have a good. Let's go. Uh, a broadcast.